Hi, this is David McKenzie with HDTV Test. We're here at the Dolby Vision exhibit at CES 2017 now. I keep wanting to say 2016, but it's not anymore.
That's right, it's a new year.
And would you be able to introduce yourself to our viewers and let them know what you do with Dolby?
Sure, hi, my name's Pat Griffiths and I'm Vice President of Technology in the Office of the CTO at Dolby Labs.
It seems now at the show, especially now that there's discussions ongoing to try and add dynamic metadata to the HDR10 spec, really what makes HDR10 and Dolby Vision tick is the perceptual quantization technology, which Dolby actually came up with. From our, I guess, cynical perspective, what was Dolby's motivation in allowing the HDR10 camp to have what's essentially the heart of your technology as well? Is it not a bad move to give it away for free, essentially?
Well, sometimes to jumpstart an industry, you have to start somewhere, and one of our philosophies historically has been leading generously. You know, we were big believers in the benefits of high dynamic range. We went back to some of the fundamental color science work by Barton that defined the human contrast sensitivity curve. We said, if we were starting with a blank sheet of paper, that would be the right place to start. And the PQ curve, that perceptual quantizer, came out of that work of taking Barton's science and then turning it into digital bits. There are many ways to characterize that curve. So, you know, one of the issues could have been, if it wasn't that one, it could have been another one. We could have a controversy. So sometimes you have to start somewhere. And we believe a lot of the innovations that we have build on having that base layer. And at the time, it's obvious now, but at the time, there are a lot of people who were very skeptical about, do I need HDR? Because they're all focused on more pixels rather than better pixels. So in short, you know, it was our contribution to the industry that we hope to then later benefit. A rising tide floats all boats, as the saying goes.
Well, that segues into the next question. Obviously, from Dolby's perspective, over HDR10, what are the advantages? Could you explain to our viewers?
Well, sure. First of all, HDR10 is 10-bit by definition. Dolby Vision early on when we worked with the studios, and we did a lot of work of saying what level of precision would we need to avoid artifacts for any arbitrary set of content up to 10,000 nits, which is the PQ spec. And we realized you needed 12-bit fidelity. So Dolby Vision from the get-go is full 12 bits. So you have that potential advantage over HDR10. But a much more important feature is the fact we realized understanding what the content itself is doing allows you to do a much better job of rendering that content, whether in 12 bits or less, in the downstream device to give a consistent experience, the best experience across all types. So Dolby Vision does support that content-based mapping, and it's delivered with metadata on a frame-by-frame basis, which is why it's called dynamic metadata. And that gives a consistent experience across all variety of contents and all variety of devices. And that's really one of the big benefits over HDR10. Consistent experience and, of course, the best experience possible for each device.
And obviously, from our perspective as video file users, the best means not necessarily vivid mode, colors cranked up. We want accurate video. And we were talking earlier about what Dolby's doing with TV manufacturers. One of the requirements of a Dolby Vision certified product is the reference mode. Is that correct?
Oh, absolutely. And we're passionate about artistic intent, whether in audio or image, and so are the creatives we work with. And our challenge is to do a faithful reproduction of that content to the best ability of the display. So yes, absolutely. The certification process involves trying to do as much based on what the creatives wanted. So we don't, frame rate interpolation, which sells TVs, is not necessarily what the creatives wanted. We try in our Dolby Vision reference modes to get it as close to preserving the original faithful reproduction of that artistic intent as possible.
Hi David, my name is Roland Fleiku. I'm the VP of Multiscreen Services Video here at Dolby Labs, responsible for our imaging technologies.
We've seen a variety of UHD Blu-ray players already launched without Dolby Vision technology on board, and that's obviously changing now at the show. Would you be able to tell us about the new Dolby Vision enabled products for Blu-ray?
Yes, so as you probably know from the get-go, the UHD Blu-ray spec has contained a provision for an enhancement on top of the mandatory HDR10 base layer. And Dolby Vision is that enhancement, and we're very proud and happy to present here at the show not only player announcements from 3 different manufacturers, Oppo, LG, and Philips, but also a commitment to content from studios. So we have an announcement from 3 of the major Hollywood studios, who are committing to releasing discs in UHD Blu-ray in early 2017. So we're very happy about that part of the Dolby Vision ecosystem coming to life as well. It's a very important addition because this removes the geographic boundaries for access to Dolby Vision content. So you can, no matter which country you're in the world, get the UHD Blu-ray player with Dolby Vision and the disc, and you get that great experience.
Especially since the discs are region-free. So regarding the on the Blu-ray side, the authoring of the discs themselves, if you put a Dolby Vision Blu-ray disc, UHD Blu-ray disc, into a non-Dolby Vision equipped player, you'll still get an HDR picture, but only in HDR10. Is that correct?
That's correct. So the way the HDR part of the UHD Blu-ray spec is constructed is that it has the generic HDR10 base layer as the baseline that plays in all players. And then if you have a player equipped with Dolby Vision capability, connected to a Dolby Vision TV, and the disc has Dolby Vision as an enhancement, then you get that Dolby Vision experience.
Okay, guys, thank you for answering our pressing questions.